I'm Rebecca. This is Beck Stitches Everything. This is my YouTube channel where I talk mostly about my cross stitch hobby. It's been a little while since I've been on here. Everything is fine. I don't know, 2 months just went by in the blink of an eye. Maybe these are just quarterly updates now. I think it's kind of what's happening. But as I said, welcome to my channel. I'm dealing with artificial light today, which I hate, but the big dark has officially arrived in the Pacific Northwest. So without lights on, it looks like it's nighttime in here, and it's like 1 in the afternoon. I don't know if you can hear it, but it is steadily raining outside. So happy fall, everyone. Anyway, so what do I have today? Did you see that? There was a fruit fly. That's the other thing that's been going on lately, is fruit fly infestation in Seattle. Out of control. Okay, I'm waging war. I'm just going to try not to be super scattered today. I have no notes. I have pulled together, I think, pretty much most of what I've worked on in the last couple of months. I don't have a large quantity of projects to show you today, but the things that I do have to show, I've got some pretty good progress on. I've got some finishes. I have one crochet thing to talk about at the end. So let's just dive in. FedEx is in my neighbor's driveway, so Emma might start barking. I'm fighting a lot of issues today. Let me first talk about this piece that's up here behind me. I don't think I've talked about this one on my channel in the past, so forgive me if I have. It's been, like I said, it's been a little while. This is a piece, so if I haven't talked about it, and I don't think I have, this would be a start and fully finish since we have last been together. This is a piece that I did on perforated paper. The design is from, let's see if it'll focus for me. I've linked it before. There is a library of patterns that Megan, the Seattle Stitcher, clued me in about. They are antique charts. Everything's free on there. Some of the items on there are not charted yet, but I think whoever runs that website is working on charting pretty much everything that's up there. So this was a free design, all in DMC, and this is on an 18 count perforated paper. And it's 1 strand of floss over 1. Perforated paper comes from Mill Hill, makes it. It comes in the 14 count, which they have in a variety of colors, and then 18 count, which only comes in white. So I spray painted this with black spray paint, and it worked out really well. And I am looking forward to trying some other designs and using some other fun colors on the perforated paper. This frame I just got on Amazon. Super cheap. I think it's just resin. And I just cut it into the oval and just popped it in the frame. And I love this. My husband commented on this one. He's very supportive of my hobby, but for the most part, he doesn't really pay attention to what I'm working on. But he actually remarked on that one and said it was really pretty. So, got that stamp of approval. So that is my first start and finish. I have another start and finish, not framed yet. I'm going to see. I don't know if you can see it through. Do I need a board? I didn't bring one in here. I guess one benefit of it being dark is we're not going to get a whole lot of sunlight coming through the back of the linen. This is HL Moth by Kathy Barrick. I stitched this 1 over 1 on 40 count Havana by Weeks Dye Works. This is the old Weeks base, so the kind of looser weave. I don't think I have any of the Zweigart base Weeks in my stash. I started this with Fanny. She is one of the pair. YouTube channel is Soul Stitchers, and Fanny's Instagram is Cross Stitch Couture. If I remember to actually put things in the description, I will try to link everything, but I'll link people I mention. I don't know if I'm going to go through and put details about every single project in the description this time. It does kind of take me a while. I don't even know if people are looking at that. And I didn't make any notes today, so I'm just trying to do everything from memory. If there's something that I don't say in my video that you're curious about, just comment and I'll track down information for you. This was so fun. I just kind of got obsessed with it and just finished it. Kathy Barrick charts, I think all of her designs are charted in NPI silk, but she also always gives, to my knowledge, a DMC alternative. So I use the DMC for this. And I love it. And I cannot wait to get a frame for this and get it up on my wall. I'm accumulating a big stack of things that I need to get framed. So I need to get on that. It's project number 2. Okay, I've got my actual desk chair. This room holds my books, craft supplies, desk that I use for actual work when I was working. And it's not a very big room, so it's serving way too many functions in a small space. So I just pulled my desk chair over here. And it's been doing this thing where it's spinning without me touching it. So I might have a little ghost in here. Happy Halloween. Up next, I have talked about this one before, but I finished. This is Goth R 1874 by Quaint Rose Needle Arts. I believe Maisie is the proprietor of the shop. She has an Etsy store. I'm not sure if she has a freestanding website as well. But this is one of her designs. Megan, the Seattle sister, has started this one. I don't think she's been working on it lately. But I just got, again, I don't know what's going on with me. So I either will bounce among 50 different things, or I will get really hyper fixated on one project. And I've been, for whatever reason lately, able to really focus on things. So I'm trying to take advantage of that and trying to finish things. So I'm trying to remember where I was last time I talked about this one. I think I might have only been at the start of the flowers. So I just, like I said, I just got kind of obsessed with it and I just kept going. This fabric is 30, I'm pretty sure it's 36 count. I'm 95% sure that is a 36 count Velt by Picture This Plus. I have said in the past that I don't like Picture This Plus. I think what I've figured out is I don't like 40 count Picture This Plus. This 36 count I actually really liked working on. I think the dyeing is really, the colors are really cool on this. I had started, I think I bought this because I started, is it Carriage House Samplings? They have all those animals. There was the Jackrabbit one that I had started on this fabric and just decided I just kind of wasn't into that. So I just, and luckily this one came. I think that I can just leave this and it will not show when I frame it if I frame it pretty tight. So I'm not going to even bother to pick that out. But I just think this one's so fun. The alphabet is weird. There's letters out of order, and then she came down here and added in the ones she forgot. The flowers are beautiful. The birds are cool. That dog is insane. I don't know what is going on with this dog, but I love him so much. And I am thrilled to have this one done. And like the last piece, I need to get a frame ordered for this one so I can get it fully finished and hung up. Okay, up next is just going to be whips. None of these are finishes. In fact, the next one that I show is a very long way from finished. I put some more, I might have to stand up for this one actually. Hold on, let's see. Just back. I put in quite a bit more work on Consider the Lilies. This is by Heartstring Samplery. And now we're going to hit the stage in this video where I'm going to be a little unsure about fabrics that I've used. This is definitely an XJU design fabric. It's definitely 40 count. I am blanking at the moment on the name of the color, but if anyone is interested, I think I've listed it in other videos. But if you're curious, just send me a comment and I can let you know the color name. As I said, it's 40 count. I'm stitching 1/2 with all the called for flosses. It's a mixture of Weeks, Classic Color Works, Gentle Arts, and I haven't shown this one in a while. I think really all I worked on since I last showed it was the tree, which was a considerable amount of work. That took me a while. And the tree is kind of like the central large motif on the upper half. I'll put a picture of the cover photo. I don't have my chart up here with me, but I'll pop that on the screen so you can kind of see where I am in this. This is a half yard of fabric, and so I've still, and it's not going to take up the whole thing, but this is a very large piece. It's going to take up a lot of this. So I think I'm about I'm close to 1/4 of the way done with this, probably, maybe a little bit less. I did notice when I was working that there's a couple of motifs, like the horse needs his tail. Is there something else? Oh, there's something missing up in this flower. I think what happened, I kitted this one up when I was at Acorns and Threads in Portland, and I think it might be that there were a couple flosses that were listed that they didn't have in stock, so when I started working on it, I just skipped over those parts. But I think I have all of the floss for it now. So I need to go back in and finish off those motifs, and then just keep plugging away. I'm not sure when I'll work on this one next. The tree took it out of me a little bit, so it might be tucked away for a little while. But this is definitely one that when I put it away for a while, I start to miss it, so it could get some more work in the not too distant future. We'll see. Okay, up next is From Velvet to Linen. This is another Kathy Barrick. Again, she charts in NPI, but I am using the DMC flosses that she also provides. And I might actually be past the halfway point on this one now. I have this chart digitally, so I'll put a picture up in case you have been living under a rock and haven't seen this one. I'll put a picture up of what the finished piece looks like. This is a 40 count fabric. This is a Bestitch Me fabric. I'm in her monthly fabric club. Currently I'm getting one piece of 40 count in her like bright or colorful club selection and a 46 count in her neutrals. This is a 40 count because for a while I was doing 40 count. I don't remember what the color name was of this one, but if anyone's curious, I'm sure I could dig and figure it out. I got this one back out. Kim of Contented Needleworker Kim has this one as a whip too, and for a couple months we've been doing this little thing where we'll just kind of check in with each other, and like if we have a project in common, we might both get it out for a few days and send each other progress photos via Instagram Messenger. That's been a really nice way to just kind of cheer each other on. So thank you, Kim. Thanks for the encouragement. Yeah, this one, I think, I don't know, I don't really do plans because I'm very much like a mood stitcher and reader and everything else. But I am kind of, once I get to like about the halfway point on things, especially something like this, which is not huge, that motivation really kicks in for me, and I just kind of want to keep it out and just like push through until I can finish it. So what do you think, Kim? Should we like bring this one back into the rotation in the near future? I would be totally fine with that if you want to do it. Okay, next project also is another one that Kim and I worked on together. We worked on this one, I think, a little more recently. I think we did this one after we put From Velvet to Linen away. This is Jane Hopkins, 1875, by Hands Across the Sea. This is on a 46 count fabric. Another XJU Designs. I think this one is called Autumn Gold. But if anyone wants confirmation of that, just leave me a comment and I can make sure that I'm telling you the right thing. I am stitching this one 1/2 with a Vera Swab 100.3 silks. It's the charted silks as provided. So the Hands Across the Sea charts usually, or the ones that I've had, we usually have 3 floss kind of conversions provided with the charts. They'll have usually the Avera Soie d'Alger's, which I have not worked with, but I would like to try. I think that they're a little bit thicker, maybe a little bit fluffier, and then we'll have the 100.3 silks, which come on spools, and they're thinner more, and they feel more like a piece of sewing thread, kind of more that texture. And then they'll usually give you a DMC as well. I think what I'm learning about myself is on the 40 count, I prefer either a DMC or an overdyed cotton. Maybe the Soie d'Alger's would be a good option also on a 40 count. And then I really like a 46 count for the 100.3s. I think I stitch pretty tight. So I don't feel like I get really, really good coverage with the 100.3s on a 40 count, but I'm very happy with the coverage I get on 46 count with it. So this one, as you can see by the picture that I'm going to pop up on the screen, has a very large central floral motif. It's beautiful. It's funny because when you look at it, to me it reads really, really pink, but then when you look at the flosses that it's charted for, there's really only one true pink in the whole palette. So it's just kind of funny. And it's another one, Kim and I both said the same thing. It's like you feel like you just like work and work and work on it, and you feel like you're getting nowhere until you kind of step back and then take it in. So this one's not going to be finished anytime soon. And I'm kind of regretting that I did the border. I sort of wish maybe I would just have done that central floral urn. But I'm in too deep now. I'm not going to take that out. I think the linen would be ruined, and I've committed, so I just need to do the piece in its entirety. So that's that one. We're kind of zipping through. This is probably going to be a pretty short video. Next whip is Mary Morgan's by Fox and Rabbit, and this is on a piece of 40 count Be Stitch Me fabric. I think the color name is Frost. It looks, well, I guess it's looking fairly true to color on camera. When I take photos of it on my iPhone, it tends to come out looking kind of gray, but it is quite blue. So it's kind of crazy, and the flosses are all just DMC, and they are very bright. So it's like kind of crazy floss colors, crazy fabric color, but I absolutely love the way this is coming out. I know this is probably like kind of chaotic and bright for a lot of people, but I am very happy with it. I put a ton of time into these flowers in the last couple weeks, and I just wanted to get those done before I put it away again. I did kind of burn myself out on this one for the moment, so I think this will go away, and it's gonna hibernate for probably a little while before I'm ready to pull it back out. And it's huge too. It's a really big one. I got a little nervous actually, thinking I maybe had done my margins were iffy. I thought I might run out of room over here, but I folded it in half and looked, and this is halfway point on the chart, so I think I'm exactly centered. So, and I have about a 2-inch margin and maybe a little bit, so that should be fine for framing 10 years from now when I actually finish this thing. Okay, I have 2 more whips to talk about. This one actually doesn't have very much progress, I don't think, from when I showed it last. Today is, where are we? October 24th, so we have 1 week left in October. And it just occurred to me the other day that I really haven't worked on any Halloween this year. I don't have my decorations up, I don't have my tree out. I don't know. So maybe that's why I've been feeling kind of off, because I'm just I love Halloween so much. I don't know what my problem is this year. So this one is Teresa Kogut. It is out of this booklet, which is fabulous. Her Halloween book, it's got so many cute charts in it. And this is the sampler from the front, which is absolutely massive. And it's going to take me ages to finish. This pumpkin was like a deceiving amount of stitching. So I think I've only put in like a little more work since I last showed it. Like I finished this, did a little more work on this cat. I started coming over here to work on this little like jack-o'-lantern girl. So if you look at this photo versus my fabric, this is by name the called for fabric. It is a 36 count old linen by XJU Designs. I don't think it's just that the lighting is different, or that it's like not a good photo representation of what this fabric is. I truly think that something has changed in her dye, because I think this was produced in 2021, and I think in the intervening years something has changed in her dyeing process or this colorway, where the piece of fabric that I got is significantly darker than what is shown. I love this dark fabric. I definitely prefer this over the cover photo, because the cover photo to me, it's pretty, but it just kind of looks like vintage country mocha. It just looks kind of generic. So I do really, really love this fabric color. And I'm also stitching it in the called for flosses, which are a mixture of DMC. There's not that many colors in it. Let me find the page. There are 4 DMCs, 1 classic colorworks, 3 week style works. So called for flosses, called for fabric. But the dress here, because I think that her dye lot has changed enough, it looks a little more distinct actually on screen. But I started that motif and it's very like ghosty tone on tone to me. So I stopped and I decided I was going to come over here and just try to work on something else, and then kind of mull it over and decide what I want to do about that. Whether I just want to go with it or pick a different floss. I think it's only going to be a problem in her dress and maybe the top of the dress of this one. So I just don't know. I could go either way. I might just roll with it and just let it be a little bit ghosty, or I might swap out floss for those 2 sections on it. I just didn't want to make a decision when I was working on it the other day, so I just moved on to something else. Okay, and then my last whip is also out of this book. I'm going to see if I can find a photo that does not have the chart visible. Where are you? Sorry, hold please. Okay, it's these 2. And I think that these are done on a 32 count in the book. I decided to do mine on 36, and this is on, sorry, there's a hanging thread and it's still in the hoop. This is on a 36 count. This is Zweigart. I think it's called Raw or Raw Natural. I feel like no one can ever remember the name of this fabric, and me included. And I am using the called for flosses. And I think I'll finish this either as a pillow or a stand-up. There's a lot of fill-in on this one, which can be great. I mean, fill-in's great for like, you know, watching TV or sitting in your car waiting for something, or you know, whatever, when you don't really want to focus, but at the same time it can get monotonous and sometimes hard to push yourself to finish it. So I thought about just doing the head and the bow tie. I really like them as a pair, but I don't know if all that filling is going to really take me out. Okay, we restarted. I think I'm leaning towards stitching the cat's entire body. And then also someday stitching this one too. I can't remember who it was. Somebody had, I'm pretty sure it was one of these, finished in like a little stand-up. So if I did just the head, I would probably finish it into a small pillow. If I do the whole body, I might ultimately finish them into little stand-ups. Again, this is a decision and problem for future me. So we'll see. Yeah, super cute. I really love like the vintage. Vintage Halloween is my favorite Halloween kind of aesthetic. Okay. That was fast. I did not yap excessively, I don't think. So that's all the cross stitch. I have one crochet thing to show, and then kind of a life thing. So if you're not into that, click out. Thank you for joining me. If you do want to see it, I will show you my crochets. Okay, for those interested, this is a crochet blanket that I'm working on. It is complete. Stand up again, except for I need to weave in like a bajillion ends on the side. I crocheted this with all yarn that I had in stash. It is a very basic riffle pattern, so I did not use a specific pattern or anything like that. It's like a 14 stitch count repeat with increases and decreases, which create this wave. And the yarn I have is left over from a few other projects that I have done. It is Cascade 220 DK weight superwash wool yarn. I think it's my favorite yarn to use for blankets. It's really warm. You can actually wash it in the machine. It holds up really well. They have like so many pretty colors. So yeah, so this is actually, it's baby size, but kind of like maybe toddler size. And the little life update, the reason I'm making this is because I am going to be a grandma. Ah! Oh my god. It feels really weird to say that. So my oldest son, who is 27, he and his wife are expecting their first baby, and it is a girl, and she is due April 1st, and as my brother so kindly pointed out to me, her due date is just about 2 weeks before my 50th birthday, so thanks for that, guys. I will be a grandma in my 40s. Unless she's really, really late. So, it feels a little surreal. I had my son when I was 22. So he waited quite a bit longer than I did. But yeah, it's crazy to think about. Very exciting. I have a whole lot of baby projects like kind of spinning around in my head. I was actually digging through my fabric stash recently because I want to do a baby quilt. Neither one of them watch my channel or even know this exists, so I can talk about this on here without spoiling any surprises. But yeah, it was really fun to dig through all my fabrics, because some of them that I found, I know for a fact that I made little skirts for my daughter who's 22, like skirts and clothes. I used to sew clothes for her when she was little. So I know that some of the fabrics I have been used for clothes that I made for her like 20, almost 20 years ago. And so I'm going to incorporate some of those into a baby quilt. I have some other crochet projects I like to work on. Maybe some knitting. So I guess that's kind of the extent of my plans going forward. More baby projects coming. Keep plugging away on some of these cross-stitch projects. Gonna work in some of my other whips. I don't really feel... I definitely have not been cross-stitch shopping lately and I don't really even feel a big pull to start much new. I do have a lot of whips, and it's not that I'm overwhelmed with the amount of whips that I have. It's more like I just feel kind of content with what I have. I'm very happy with the projects that I have going right now, and I just want to see a lot of those finished and framed and up on my walls. So I think that's it for this update. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for sticking with me. Hopefully it won't be 2 months again before I'm back on here, but who knows. Like I said, life's been good. Nothing bad has happened. It's just, you just kind of start going through your day-to-day routine, and then oops, before you know it, it's been months before you've before I've checked in on here. So fingers crossed it won't be 2 months again, but it might be. I do post some updates on Instagram, so if you don't see me on here, maybe check in there. I'll put links to that social media down below. And other than that, have a happy and safe Halloween if you are celebrating, and I will see you soon, hopefully.